Hey guys, Second here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so I wanted to make a video about this post that was put up on the Global Dokkan Twitter page. It was a couple of days ago, so I'm a little bit behind, but after we talked about some stuff on the podcast and even on some of the streams like since then, I really wanted to draw people's attention to this particular post. Because I feel like it is very important, and I know that a lot of you guys out there, people have told me before when I've done those like community response videos and stuff like that, I know there are people out there, even in my audience, right, who don't use Twitter. So there's the possibility that you just haven't even seen this post, let alone, you know, have the ability to reply to it. But fortunately, there is a separate link as well, which I will put in the description to the video. So if you're somebody that doesn't use Twitter at all, you will still be able to go to the section here where they want you to give your questions by clicking on the link. Basically, it just opens up a page that looks like this. You have to select your language first, and then send us your memories about the game or messages celebrating the 9th anniversary. Questions for developers are welcome too. This is the most important part, right? Questions for developers, because if we go back to the main post, so 9th anniversary messages wanted. The 9th year of Dokkan starts in early July. Send us your memories, messages, or even questions. We'll share some of them in the July video. So the response, of course, there's a bunch of like memes, but then yeah, stuff like this. Let us use our own leader as the friend leader. Make sure the 9th anniversary banners have tickets, which I think we know they do. There's our boy Prof, rework categories and names of characters. Like all of this stuff, right? There's a cool meme of Super Saiyan Mouse. But yeah, these kind of posts are really important. And this is why I wanted to make a video about this, right? So recently on Global, we've had the issue with the Battlefield memories. And I say on Global, right? Because it is an issue on JP as well. Like JP also could do with getting more Battlefield currency. Like both, it's an issue for both versions realistically. But we've had this issue on Global where we've caught up with a bunch of these battlefields, and that has left us with a deficit in terms of the currency, not able to get all of the stuff from the shop. As I say, and the thing where I drew attention to it, my own situation, right? I've played every Battlefield since the first one released, and I have not been able to EZA the LR Barbary and Deborah, who just got their EZA last week, because I can't afford to buy all of the medals from the Battlefield shop. So stuff like that, it's very, very important that we bring these issues to the devs' attention, because the whole reason why I'm making this video, I talked about it a little bit earlier on today's stream, but I did mention it when we were chatting on the podcast, and it's like, if all we ever do is complain about these kind of things, you know, on our, you know, on the podcast, on our channels, in Discord, on Twitter, to each other and stuff like that, it's not really going to make any difference, because we know to a certain extent that they see what's going on in the community. But whenever they give us these situations, like with this or the player survey, where you get the ability to directly communicate to the production team and give them feedback or questions and things like that, this is something that we should be taking advantage of, like at every possibility, right? So any questions, any issues that we have with the game, obviously we saw there with the example, like the friend system, any of these things, it's very, very important that you give this feedback to the developers, because at the end of the day, right, they might not do anything with it, you know, they might see some of the questions. We had that recent producer letter where they answered some questions and they picked some fairly like easy ones. Nothing was really like, you know, any groundbreaking information that we didn't know or is like super important to the overall playing experience. There was some interesting like little bits of information in there, like the stuff about like how long it takes to design and create an LR from start to finish, like those kind of things. That was kind of interesting to see, but none of the like real hard-hitting things that we want to know about the game. They kind of answered a question about the sync, but basically just saying wait until the anniversary and we'll give you guys more news then, and that was basically it. So you have to be aware as well. It's a good thing I'm making this today, because the it ends today in terms of when you can actually submit the things. So in fact, it's PST, 7 o'clock PST is like 8 hours behind me. So this is like what, 5 takes you to 12, so it's like 4 p.m, right? So when this video goes up, if you're watching this video as soon as it goes up, you need to get this done like straight away. Within the next like 2 hours, it basically ends. So I probably should have made the video a bit earlier, but maybe I'll post it earlier than the normal early afternoon video slot. So when this goes up, you should still have about 3 hours to get the replies in on this before it closes. But yeah, very important to do this because they need to see these issues that we have. So any issues that you have with the game, it doesn't even matter if they're not the same old ones that you see everybody talking about, right? Like the friend system, people wanting information on the sync, Battlefield stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be the main stuff, but like any questions or concerns or anything like that you have about the game, these are the opportunities that we get to directly communicate with the team, right? And like I said, they might not do anything, but you know, it's kind of like with any sort of communication, right? People can't be aware there's an issue if they don't get told there's an issue. Now, some of the stuff, you know, we've been banging on about for ages, friend system, update, things like the Battlefield currency. I know people kind of talked about it in the past, but it wasn't really until we actually finally hit the breaking point where even some of the players with the most amount of Battlefield points, like who've been playing since the very beginning, have started to run out, where I've really started to see people talk about it recently, especially because so many have been skipped. But you know, things like what's going on with tickets for global, are we keeping those when the versions sync? Because sometimes in same time celebrations we don't get all of the global first perks, all of the kind of stuff. And there's so much information that people out there constantly ask, right? I get comments on videos of all the time, people asking about different things, and this is the opportunity to go ahead and submit those questions to the team. So obviously I know they've kind of made it into like, it's like a cute little anniversary thing, like share your memories and messages about the game. So, you know, it'll be nice to make it a little bit positive, right? If you're going to submit an entry into this, maybe put something on there like your favorite memory from Dokkan so far, maybe from a previous anniversary, and then after that, you know, potentially then start jumping into all the questions about things that you think are, you know, they're not doing very well or could be doing better. It's always nice to start something like that off with a little bit of a positive. So I think that's a good idea. If everybody who sees this and does want to go ahead and submit a thing here for these guys to see, do put something positive to start off. Let them know one of your favorite Dokkan memories, and then of course, like I say, any questions or concerns, put them in here. And like I say, you guys don't have to do this, of course. Like, people watching this video, I'm not saying, you know, you must go do this now, but it is one of those things. If there are things that you very regularly complain about, but then when these opportunities come around like this and the player survey, you don't bother to do them, then obviously those things are never going to get fixed. Now, as I've already said, things like the friend system, I feel like almost every single player survey I've put something in about the friend system, as well as stuff about heroes, like want a heroes LR. Obviously that's a good question in and of itself, right? Is, will you guys continue to do heroes celebrations now that the actual arcade game has been discontinued? That's one of the things that I will definitely be putting on my one. So there's a whole bunch of different things you could put on there. Put a nice positive start, put a nice memory from Dokkan, and then any questions or concerns you have about the game, do put them on the thing and submit it. Because like I say, they can't do anything about these issues if they don't see them. And even where, you know, they might get one comment here and there about certain issues, but if they start receiving more and more of these messages, whether it's this thing, whether it's the player survey, if they start receiving more and more of these where people are all saying the same thing, and then obviously that gives them a much clearer indication of what the community wants to see. Whether they do it or not is of course still up to them at the end of the day. But do make sure that if you have any questions or concerns about the game, do go ahead and make sure you fill in this survey if you haven't already. Obviously, if you're on Twitter, you can just go to the tweet on the global Twitter page, or like I say, I'll put this link that goes directly to the form down below in the comments section. And as I already mentioned, if you're seeing this video when it goes up, try and make sure you get on there and submit one of these straight away, because it will be ending today. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, and let me know what you guys put. Obviously, if you go and do the survey from watching this video, you could always just copy and paste what you put in the survey thing into the comments. Let us know what you guys said. I'll put a pinned comment with what I put into mine as well. But yeah, hopefully something good will come of this and we can get some answers to some of these questions, as well as some extra insight and things like that. So hopefully you guys will go ahead and do that, and hopefully we'll get some good feedback from them out of it. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.